Coffee with Kate. Today's mug has a word for me, a woman of all trades. This is a declaration, a mantra, right? I got this mug for partons. We'll talk a little bit more about this declaration later, but I just kind of wanted you guys to check out my black and pink. It is popping. I love these colors. It will be on my website today. So hit up the website, hit me up in the DMs and the chats. Let me know if you are interested. So back to this woman of all trades. I immediately thought about the woman at the well. So in John 4, we know that Jesus was in Samaria and he stopped by the well. The disciples went on ahead and he's like, "Hey lady, give me a drink." And she's like, you're not supposed to be over here getting a drink from me. So she kind of let her guard down there, dialoguing in conversation. And we know how it ends. But, Jesus starts to get into her personal situation. He was like, "Do you have a husband?" She's like, "No, I ain't got no husband." "Where's your husband?" "I ain't got no husband." And he said, "You are right. You've been with Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike, and Ralph. Now you're with Johnny, and that ain't your husband either." So, she was like, how does he know all this? And he begins to talk to her about not just the physical water where you drink water, you'll be thirsty again. But I got that living water that will speak to your life, that will give you the everlasting life. She was intrigued. She was amazed. And she understood who Jesus was. And he worked a miracle in her life that day because he gave her purpose to go on and to testify of his goodness. So I like the 39th verse. It says, "From that city, many of the Samaritans believed in him because of the word the woman had that the woman testified." She said, "He told me of everything that I've done." So what is key there is that from her meeting of the master, she then went and told other people who then began to believe in him just on her word. But then once they met him themselves, they began to believe him on her word initially, and then they sought after him to follow him themselves. So she became a disciple, and she made disciples because she went and testified of the goodness of the Lord. So talking about the trades, right? So the world has a saying, jack of all trades, master of none. But we know that Jesus is master of everything, master of all trades. So some of you and me, we got plenty of talents and gifts that we are sitting on. We hid them in the sand, and we know about that parable, what happened when we hide our gifts. So I am here to encourage you to get the mantra. I don't care if you're a woman, a man. If you're a man of all trades, a woman of all trades. And the trades are not, those are your gifts. Like, align your trades with your gifts, right? Because we don't all have the same gifts and talents. So if you can't sing, that is not your trade. So you can enjoy singing, in your heart, in your mind, in your home, or whatever. But going after a professional singing career may not be the thing for you. But tap into those things and those gifts that God has given to you, because there is room for them. The jack of all trades, master of none does not apply to you when Jesus is your master, right? You have to have boundaries. Don't spread yourself thin. That's not what I'm saying at all, because sometimes we just go out there too thin. We're doing too much of everything and not putting enough focus on anything. Don't spread yourself thin, but don't sell yourself short. Some people have the gift of reading. It sounds funny, but it's really not. You remember back in church when the pastor used to be like, "Sister so-and-so, get me Genesis, the first chapter and the first verse." And the sister's like, "I got it, pastor. Read. In the beginning, stop right there." Sister would wait, and he would say his little thing, "Read," and she'd go on reading. And the church readers, they had powerful voices, right? But there are also jobs for readers. Like, I listen to a lot of audiobooks, right? I love Derek Prince and his teachings and his books. I've read them. The paper book, I've read them. But I listen to the audiobooks. Do you know why I listen to the audiobooks so many times? The content is good, right? But I love the guy that reads his books. I love his voice, Basil Sands. I just love his reading voice. Michelle Obama, when I read her book, Becoming, I loved her voice. Some of you have gifts and talents. Some of you can read. Some of you can sew. Some of you can cook. Some of you can design. Some of you can do what you can do. And just because you are a barber, it doesn't mean that you can't be a pastor. So get out there and work your gifts. Our master is a master of all things and all trades. When we trust in him and we believe in him, we can do what others think that we can't do. There's nothing too hard for God. I don't know why I keep saying this over and over and over, but someone needs to know there is nothing too hard for God. We just have to lean on him, trust in him that we could be the master of the trades and gifts that he has given us, because somebody out there needs to hear your reading voice. You hear that, Sister Carolyn Bennett? Somebody needs to hear you, reader. You are a professional reader, and don't let nobody tell you that you're not. I love to hear you read, but somebody out there has talents that you've not even tapped into. Know that God has your back and you can do it. So that is all I have for today. Master of all that God has given to you in the power and by the power of God and the power of Jesus and his might and the power that we are given and the authority. Go out and be great. And you know what it is? I love you. I love you and I love you and I love you unconditionally. And you know what that means? There's nothing that you can do about it. So until next time, I will see you later. Bye-bye.